Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me this evening. It is Saturday, the 27th of June, about 7 o'clock p.m. And I wanted to talk tonight about a topic I've mentioned a few times before, but from a reverse angle this time. One of if you've been watching for a while, and thank you if you have, you know that one of my recurring themes is gratitude. Gratitude has gotten me through some pretty rough times, and it still is. And rather than talk about that per se, though, let's look at the inverse of that, which is ingratitude. And I know people whose lives have been ruined by it. I never knew anybody whose life was ruined by being too grateful, but I have known people who made themselves miserable by being ungrateful about, oh God, just about anything. Just to give you an example, this past Wednesday, believe it or not, marked 38 years since I moved into my little house. I had it built back in 1988. I thought I would live here no longer than 5 years, and I was really wrong. And there are things about it that's not perfect. I mean, it's really quite small. It's not in the greatest neighborhood. But I'm very grateful that it's been my home for a long time now. I've certainly lived here longer than every other place in my life combined. And it's comfortable. It's quiet where I live. I can look out my window and there's an old horse pasture back there, not a bunch of houses. I'm very grateful for that. And if I weren't, I could look at it as, oh my God, this place is a dump. I'm so crowded in here. God, this neighborhood sucks. Blah 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 and all that. And make myself perfectly miserable. But the reality, no matter where I moved, if I took that attitude with me, the result would be the same. And if you know people in your own life who are like that, for one, it's like you probably want to hit them with a baseball bat. But also, you realize, that they're very unhappy people, and that unhappiness can be contagious, And no matter what they have, they're never satisfied. They can only think about what's wrong. You know, I Gosh, I knew a woman who lived into her 80s, and she was never happy. I mean, just never happy. It's like the house wasn't good enough. Her friends weren't nice enough. The car she drove wasn't fancy enough. The food she bought wasn't whatever enough. And the clothes et cetera, et cetera, went on and on and on and on and on. Not a very endearing thing. And I think it's highly toxic, and not only to yourself, but to the people around you. So, to be grateful even in bad times, because, let me tell you, another anniversary I had this past week is it's 7.5 years since my stroke, and that means I have been permanently disabled for 7.5 years. I can't use my right hand for much. That's why you don't see it in the videos, because I can't move it very far, and that's why I'm kind of static. It's hard for me to move. My right leg doesn't work very well. It would be easy to say, oh my God, 7.5 years. I've not had one good night's sleep. I've been in constant pain for 7.5 years. I'm not getting better despite the fact that I work hard at recovery. I mean, I work at it every day, and it can be really frustrating. But I don't focus on the frustration. I really do focus on the things I'm grateful for, and there are a lot. And there are times I admit it's more of a challenge. I have to make a conscious effort to maintain that list of things to be grateful for. Now it's summer in Texas, so it's hot and humid, and it's like, well, I'm grateful that it's not hotter and more humid. We had enough rain in June that I look out and the pasture next door is nice and green. Usually by this time of year, it's burned into a grayish brown. Not very pretty. Okay, but anyway, I hope you get the idea. And I hope in your own life you realize that gratitude is a really important part and that it can be easily undone by an attitude of ingratitude. And I could go on, but I hope you get the point. And speaking of gratitude, I'm very grateful to everybody who watches and subscribes and likes and emails me. I always like hearing from people. Um, and anyway, I hope you keep watching. And I'm working on a couple other episodes that I hope they have coming up in the not too distant future. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.